Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. We shall see chapter 2, classical genetics. What is genetics? Genetics is the science of heredity or inheritance. It is the branch of biology that deals with the mechanism of transmission of characters from parents to offspring. And it is the science of heredity and variation. Who coined the term genetics? The term genetics was coined by a scientist, a British biologist, a Mendelian scientist, William Bateson, in 1906. Let's see the four major subdisciplines of genetics. The first subdiscipline is classical genetics, otherwise referred to as transmission genetics. It deals with the transmission of genes from parents to offspring. The second subdiscipline is molecular genetics. It deals with the molecular structure of gene and its function. The third is population genetics. It deals with the heredity, that is the transmission of traits in a group of individuals where the traits are determined by few genes. And the fourth subdiscipline of genetics is quantitative genetics, which deals with the heredity of traits in group of individual where the traits are determined by many genes. So these are the four major subdisciplines of genetics. What are genes? Genes are the functional unit of inheritance, the basic unit of heredity which transmits biochemical, anatomical and behavioral traits from parents to offspring. And we know genetics is the science which deals with heredity and variation. And heredity is nothing but transmission of characters from parents to offspring. Now we shall see what is variation. Variation is nothing but the differences in the characteristics among the individuals. And it is of two types, discontinuous variation and continuous variation. Now we shall see a difference between a discontinuous variation and continuous variation. The discontinuous variation is controlled purely by one or two genes, whereas continuous variation is controlled by many genes. And in discontinuous variation, there is no influence of external factors, whereas the continuous variation, the environment influence the phenotypes. And the individuals of discontinuous variation show limited variation without any intermediate form, whereas the individuals show a high degree of variation with many intermediate forms. And in discontinuous variation, there is no overlapping of phenotypes. Only the extreme phenotypes are noticed. Whereas in case of continuous variation, the phenotypes overlap and there is complete gradation of phenotype from one extreme to another without any interruption. And discontinuous variation is also called as qualitative inheritance, whereas continuous variation is also called as quantitative inheritance. And examples for discontinuous variation include style length in primula, plant height of garden pea. And whereas the examples for continuous variation include the human height and skin color. Now we shall see the importance of variation. Variation makes some individuals better fitted in the struggle for existence, and it helps the individuals to adapt themselves to the changing environment. And variation provides the genetic material for natural selection. And variation can allow the breeders to improve the better yield, quicker growth, increase resistance and lesser input. And they constitute the raw material for evolution. Mendelism. The contribution of the scientist Mendel to the field of genetics is called Mendelism. And Mendelism includes all concepts brought out by Mendel through his original research on plant hybridization. Mendelian genetic concepts forms the basics for the modern genetics. Therefore, Mendel is called as father of genetics. Mendel was born on 22nd July 1822 in Austria, and Mendel was a mathematician and philosophist from University of Vienna. And he worked as a priest at Augustinian St. Thomas Monastery. He worked as a secondary school teacher. From 1856 to 1863, he did his historically important hybridization experiment on pea plant. He presented his paper entitled Experiments on Plant Hybridization in the Proceedings of the Brunn Society of Natural History in 1866. And Mendel was the first systematic researcher in the field of genetics, and he died in the year 1884. Let's see the reasons for Mendel's success. Mendel applied his mathematics and statistical method in the field of biology for his breeding experiments. And he followed scientific methods, and his data and records are very accurate. And his experiments were carefully planned, and he used large samples. The pairs of contrasting characters which were controlled by factor, now these factors are referred to as genes, were present on separate chromosomes. The parents selected by Mendel were pure breed lines, and the purity was tested by self-crossing the progeny for many generations. I'll tell you what are pure breed lines. Next, we shall see the Mendel's experimental system, the garden pea. Why Mendel chose garden pea plant for his experiment? The reasons are: pea plant is an annual plant and has clear contrasting character that are controlled by a single gene. And under normal conditions, self-fertilization is possible in pea plant. Also, when needed, cross-fertilization is also easy to perform in case of pea plant. And the flowers are large. Hence, emasculation, that is the removal of anther, is possible. And it will be easy for the process of hybridization. These are the reasons why Mendel chose garden pea plant for his experiment. Mendel's experiments on pea plant. Mendel's theory of inheritance, otherwise referred to as the particulate theory, establishes the existence of the minute particles, or otherwise called hereditary units or factors. And these factors are now called as genes. And Mendel performed artificial pollination or cross-pollination experiments with several true breeding lines of pea plants. As I already told you, I tell you what is a true breeding line or pure breeding strain. A true breeding line or a pure breeding strain means that it has undergone continuous self-pollination having stable trait inheritance from parent to offsprings. That is, the matings occur within the pure breeding lines produce offspring having specific parental trait that are constant in inheritance and expression for many generations. So his pure line breed refers to homozygous condition only. It involves the fusion of male and female gametes produced by the same individual. That is, the male gamete and female gamete are derived from the same plant. So self-fertilization takes place and self-pollination takes place in Mendel peas. So here I am showing you what is self-pollination. So the transfer of the anther to the stigma of the same flower. Also, cross-fertilization is possible in case of Mendel's pea plant. So the experimenter can remove the anther. As shown in this figure, the anther can be removed. This process is called emasculation. Before fertilization, emasculation can be done and transfer the pollen from another variety of the pea plant. So from this pea plant, another variety of pea plant, the anthers can be deposited over the stigma of the flower. And this results in cross fertilization, which leads to creation of hybrid varieties with different traits. And Mendel's work on the study of the pattern of inheritance and the principles or laws formulated now constitute the Mendelian genetics. Now we shall see what is emasculation and bagging. So as I already told you, emasculation is removing the anther from the flower of a plant. Here you can see the anther is removed from the flower of a plant. This process is called emasculation. And this process is called as bagging. That is the process of covering the emasculated flower with a butter paper or a polythene bag, so as to prevent the cross-pollination with undesired pollen. So now we shall see the 7 characters studied by Mendel in his first model organism of genetics, the garden pea plant. And its binomial is Pisum sativum. So here we are seeing the 7 characters and also the dominant and recessive trait for each character. For stem length, the dominant trait is tall and the recessive trait is dwarf. And pod shape, inflated and constricted. Seed shape, round, wrinkled. Seed color, yellow, green. Flower position, axial, terminal. And flower color, purple, white. And pod color, green, yellow. In the other table, we can see the genes for the 7 characters. So stem length, that is the plant height, the gene is LE. The seed shape, the gene is R. Cotyledon color, I. Flower color, the gene is A. Pod color, GP. Pod form, V. And the flower position, FA. In this slide, we can see the location of genes for the 7 characters on the chromosome of the pea plant. The flower color and seed color, the gene is located in chromosome 1. The pod shape, the plant height and flower position is located in chromosome number 4. And the gene for pod color is located in chromosome 5. And the gene for seed shape is located in chromosome 7. Mendel worked at the rules of inheritance and arrived at the correct mechanism before any knowledge of cellular mechanism, DNA, gene, chromosome became available. And Mendel's insights and meticulous work into the mechanism of inheritance played an important role, which led to the development of improved crop varieties and a revolution in crop hybridization. But his work was not recognized during his time, and Mendel died in the year 1884. And Mendel's work was rediscovered by 3 biologists in the year 1900. They are Hugo de Vries of Holland, Karl Korrans of Germany, and Erich von Schermach of Austria. Now we shall see few terminologies that are related to Mendelism. Mendel noticed 2 different expressions of a trait. So for a trait called plant height, he noticed 2 different expressions, that is a tall and dwarf. So the traits are expressed in different ways due to the fact that the gene can exist in alternate form. That is, for the same trait, the gene can exist in alternate form. So that is tall and dwarf, and they are called as alleles. So here you can see in the figure, so the capital T, its alternate form is small t, and so it constitutes allele. The next terminology we are going to see homozygous and heterozygous condition. If an individual has 2 identical alleles of a gene, it is called homozygous. So here you can see both are same. So it is called as homozygous. An example, TT. Both are capital T, so it is homozygous. And heterozygous is a condition with 2 different alleles. So here you can see in the diagram capital A, small a. So these are different. So it is called heterozygous. So here an example, capital T, small t. And Mendel's non-true breeding plants are heterozygous and they are called as hybrids. When the gene has 2 alleles, The dominant allele is symbolized with the capital letter and the recessive allele is symbolized with a small letter. When both the alleles are recessive, the individual is called homozygous recessive. So here you can see here both are small letters, that is recessive, so it is called homozygous recessive. An individual with two dominant alleles is called homozygous dominant, capital T, capital T. So it is homozygous dominant. And if the individual is having one dominant allele and one recessive allele, this condition is called heterozygous. And since there is one dominant allele, capital T, it is called heterozygous tall. The other terminology we can see what are phenotype and genotype. First, genotype. The term genotype is the genetic constitution of an individual, whereas the term phenotype refers to the observable characteristic of an organism. That's it with today's discussion. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.